The biggest lie taught about confidence, right, is that it can either be built externally or internally, when really there's no solid foundation for either. What do I mean by this? If you want a confidence max, if you want to be confident so you can get bitches or you can do this or do that, this is the fucking video, right? Let's get straight to it. Now, number one, let's talk about the foundation of it being built externally, right? Now, what does that mean externally? It means that you are just a good looking person, right? The one flaw about this is that, I'm gonna be honest, most confident people are attractive, right? Now, we've all met those outliers or those people that are inwardly confident and they might not have the best looking features, right? But they can still hold a social conversation. They can still do this. They can still talk. They can still boss up. They can still, I mean, pressing. They can still do whatever they fucking want, right? The only problem with it being built externally, this confidence, is that there is a chance where you might put too much value on the opinions of others, right? And this is where we can get somebody who is very fucking superficial, who's a piece of shit, honestly, and who only puts value or perceives value only on external factors, right? Now, let's not get it fucked up. Life will show you if you are attractive or not. Life will show you if life will be like, this is life, right? It's only people who either self-overcome, right? If we're kind of talking about Nietzsche here, or it's people who already have the good cards dealt that can be the confident motherfuckers, right? Now, there's always going to be outliers, and I will tell you this: if you are someone who is not externally the most attractive person, even with all the looks maxing or all the self improvement, you could still be confident. It is 100% possible, right? These fucking losers talk about, oh yeah, you could be confident, but you won't ever get the bitch you like. Sorry, my nigga, that's life, right? But having confidence, right, and I've talked about this in my social skills video, is having more power, right? Now, obviously, power, another word for power is more control, right? Obviously, an attractive person is going to have more social power or more social control over others, right? If you want to break it down in other terms, it's more status. He's going to be perceived with even they talk about this with the halo effect, where they think that they're better people, obviously, for just having better faces, right? The one flaw about having external confidence, though, is that inwardly, even if this is not just like your everyday everyday person with confidence, there's still people out there who their external confidence is built on such a weak foundation because it's only built on the external. So inwardly, they might be insecure, they might have issues, they might have all this, they might have like that thing of wanting to prove to somebody else that they're worth something. And this is why you can't have one with the other, right? Now, to go to the inward confidence. Now, inward confidence is always going to be much more preferred than external confidence, right? Because inward confidence means that regardless of who you are, or regardless of the situations you've gone through, or regardless of whatever the fuck, you're still confident. You're still able to carry a conversation. You can still act like a fucking man when you need to be, right? And this is why the only issue with this, though, is that all these people have placed such a fucking heavy emphasis on the inward confidence, when you guys have to realize that most people don't already have the inward confidence, right? And obviously, in later parts of the video, I'll explain how you can build this both externally and inwardly, right? But you have to understand that most people, if you go to an ugly motherfucker and just tell him, hey bro, just be confident, his self-worth and his self-image of himself is so low that if let's say he gets rejected by a girl, or let's say he gets bullied or some shit like that, he will take that to heart, meaning that he will base his whole perspective of life on certain factors that may or may not be true, right? Like, for instance, right, can an ugly person be confident? Yes, 100%, 100%, right? Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, can the ugly person pull the bad bitch? Chances are no. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's no amount of confidence, right, that you can have that will get you to the girl you want, or to get you Because a lot of people, they only want a confidence, man. They want to be confident. Why? Because they want to go approach a girl. They want to go get a bitch, right? And this video, there's gonna be a lot of people who are just grabbing onto that rope of hope, right? Because otherwise, if they don't have that hope, they'll fucking hang themselves, right? And they're thinking that, oh, I just have to be confident. I just have to be this. They again, watch my video about how self-improvement is a lie. They're putting a band-aid over an issue, right? I'm not telling you that you could just be 100% confident and girls will just flock towards you, right? Now, there is a social power, right? And the more calm and the more centered and the more power you do have within yourself, where a girl will sense it. I'll tell you this off of just experience. A girl will sense if you have confidence or not, right? So even if you're the most ugliest motherfucker, even if she wouldn't fuck you, she's gonna definitely sense, oh, he's more centered, he's more of a male, because that is masculine energy, not being scared, right? But again, from this context of sleeping with women, no, you probably, chances are probably not, right? This is why you need to have a mixture of both putting your foundations in external and internal. And for these people who I know you've met these people in life who maybe aren't the best looking or maybe don't have this or that, but they're still very inwardly confident, or even if they're just average people, right? But they're still really, really fucking confident, is because these people, based on their self-image of what they want to be, right? You have to understand that every man has a self-image of himself. It's not like a, kind of think of it as like an inspired self, an idealized version of yourself, right? The core this version of yourself is the core philosophy for my the core idealized version for my philosophy evolution, right? That every day we want to become that man in our heads, right? It's the whole reason why we get up in the morning and we go and we try to be successful and we follow God, right? But usually these people who are super confident already, the image that they have of themselves, they already carved a little bit of it, right? Let's say there was a carving of it, they already got a whole arm in of this person, right? Now, what does that mean? Is that this idealized version of themselves, they're already kind of close to it, right? Or they have some aspects of it, and those parts of it are enough for them to be confident and secured within themselves, right? Now, how can somebody who has none of this inward confidence build this up? Well, again, I talked about how in my social skills video, how most of self-improvement is confidence masking, is about impressing yourself, right? So if you have no inward confidence, what you need to do is you need to start impressing yourself. You need to start, just to put it simply, being on your shit. Once you have more power and control over your fucking life, that's the moment you start liking yourself, right? Because once you, right, just focus on the things that you want to achieve in life, and the more closer you get to those goals, the more you're going to feel more secured and happy and peaceful about your life. Now, in order for you to be more externally confident, or that aspect of confidence is obviously, you have to improve your looks and do as much as you can, right? Obviously, don't be obsessive over it. Don't do fucking bone smashing that shit. What the fuck are you doing with your life, right? But understand that certain people have certain cards that were dealt with in life, and you just gotta live with it, and you just gotta do the best you can fucking do, right? I'm not selling any hope here. Now, with that being said, though, I do want to give you the real answers. Does self-improvement really is not about the American Psycho guy, or it's not about Tyler Durden, right? Because one thing that kind of found me funny about when there was in the buzz and was talking, is that what a man's supposed to look like? Well, that nigga's fucking the lean fucking muscular dude, right? If he was a fat nigga, then maybe I'll give him some props, right? But you have to understand that this self-improvement, you're not doing it for others. Self-improvement should be inner work. You should be going to the gym. You should be focused on your goals for you, right? For you, right? Not for others, not to try to fit into what society wants you to be. No, you should be doing it for you, right? With that being said, though, confidence, right, and having social skills also comes with being externally confident, because an attractive person or a confident person is going to have more balls to say something that might offend others. It's going to have more balls to say something that might be funny, right? And obviously, right, a lot of confident people do obviously get a good feedback loop, right? So whether it's just because they're just attractive and the bitches want to fuck, or whether it's just because again, the halo effect, or rather just because what they said is funny, or you know, it's not always just because they're attractive, right? It could be, or it's not always because they're confident, right? Maybe they say some bold blunt shit. Like me, I'm a bold blunt motherfucker, and people, I piss a lot of people off, right? But there's some people to be like, damn, I like that about you. You're true. You're cut to the cloth. You're blunt. Now, when you now let's say you're somebody who all you wish is to be more confident. All you wish is to be that person that you want to be, right? I want you to understand something. 99% of people are not confident. I'm telling you right now. There's women right now that you think they're very feminine, right? But they're only happy because of what was given to them on a platter by their genetics or by life or by circumstance or by luck, whatever the fuck, right? If you should take everything away, that's when you see the person's real character, right? There's bitches out there with fat asses, nice bodies, very, very cute, and some of them are very feminine. But if they was to start gaining weight, or if I took away their good looks, do you think they'll still be honestly good people? Ask yourself that. Is it just a persona? Is it just them being fake? Reverse. Let's say a fat bitch, right? A lot of fat bitches, especially if you're good looking, they'll act really, really feminine. Now I know all girls act feminine when you're good looking, but a lot of fat bitches, right? A lot of people think, oh, fat bitches are more feminine. No, because if you start giving them good looks, let's say you ripped up all the fat from them, and you made them into like Kim K machines. Do you honestly still think that they'll still be feminine? No. A lot of it, like most girls, will get it to their heads, right? Now it's even fucked because a fat bitch thinks she's a 10, right? But the reason why I'm want you to focus more on inner work is because I want you to have a good solid character, right? Because yes, there are narcissists in the world. There are fucking people that externally they might be angels, but internally they're wicked, right? Even in the Bible it talks about this, right? And I will talk about God furthermore in the video about confidence, but what you need to do is that you need to define what you are, right? Define what is being a man. And for the answer, you always go to the Bible, man, unless I'm not giving you fucking advice. I don't want you to become what you think is a man in your own eyes. No, you go to the Bible, you follow the Lord, right? And you start living by that, and you start living true to that, you're going to find that peace naturally just comes to you. Because you're doing what you want to do, right? So you're working on your passions, you're working on your business, you're working on who you are, the productive side of you. And not just productive in the sense of, oh, to be productive, no, but what you really want to do, right? Because a lot of people who, especially people who, like, again, glamorize being confident is because they don't have the social skills, or they're not the type of people to go out to parties, right? Like me, I can be an extrovert. I know how to talk. I know how to be funny. I was a class clown growing up, right? So it's no wonder, that I'm a YouTuber now, right? A lot of YouTubers, if you look in their past, they were class clowns, or they, whatever the fuck, right? But me personally, when I did go out to parties, it was fucking boring to me, right? The bitches, a lot of bitches, they want to play hard again. It's like, bitch, you mid as fuck, right? Or the guys they'll just talk about bullshit, sports, or, you have to understand that you have to be comfortable within your own skin, right? So once you start figuring out who you are, and you start aligning yourself to what to the life God has planned for you, that's when you start being happy. And that's when all this other shit will start going away from you, where you won't care. And really, a lot of confidence is just not caring about what it is, or not caring about what others people's opinion of you. It's just not having such a big emphasis on care. Because when you walk around not having a care in the world, of just living life and just getting through it, people will be like, whoa, he's not insecure. Whoa, why is he not like this? Whoa, why isn't that? People will be gravitated towards that because people, again, like I said, 99% of people are not confident, right? They're always looking. They always feel like they're getting judged. They're always this, they're always that. So when you are secured within yourself, that's when confidence will start to come, right? In the beginning of the video, I touched more on inner work and external. right? But true confidence is security within yourself. And how do you get that security? By the version that you have in your head, start working on it. That version that you have of yourself in your head. If you're a lazy motherfucker, but you have this idea of you being jacked, start taking steps towards that, right? The more control you have over your life is the more happier you'll be, because essentially you have more power over yourself. You can choose when to say no and when to say yes, right? And listen, once you have this confidence, that's when the negative thoughts will go away. You want me to tell you the day that I started being 100% confident? Growing up, I was a fat kid. So all I ever wanted to do was just get fit. It was just to be skinny. Not actually no muscles, none of that. Just be skinny, right? When I actually went crazy and when I went through my spiritual phase where I even opened my third eye during that time, when I went skinny, when I was vegan, which is, I know, fucking, why did I ever do that, right? But a nigga went vegan and shit. When I started, a nigga, bro, I hated exercise so much, but I was running every day. When I actually changed and I was even on semen retention, when I placed all my, like, obsessed over just being skinny, and when I actually finally achieved it, where I was even skinnier than the skinny people. I was 119 pounds. Like, and with me, with my genetics, where, like, I'm naturally, fucking, like, big body and shit like that, that is fucking impressive as fuck. But when I actually got down to 119 pounds, the biggest thing that I've always wanted when I was a kid, that I thought that all my problems would solve. I'll be popular once I'm skinny. I'll do this. Once I actually achieved it, that was the day that I became the most confident motherfucker, right? My confidence came like this. And let's say this: if this was 100 of max confidence, it went up to a 70, right? Then when I started going through high school, I did have, still a little bit insecurity there, but over the years and through all these lessons that I've learned, right, and honestly through improving myself and actually doing the inner work, I've gained myself to 100 level confidence, right? Almost where I'm able to hold a conversation, to be respectful, to do this, to do that, but also to go press a nigga if I need to not be scared and bitch out if I gotta go fight somebody, right? Confidence is not just something where confidence is the most important, like one of the most important skills that you need in the world. Because even if you're not the most attractive person ever, if someone notices that you can't be moved, like I said in that social skills video, when you are strong in who you are and what you bring to the table, that's when business doors start opening. That's when people start noticing your energy, right? So for these people who honestly say like, "Oh, this advice is bullshit," because I'm still always gonna have these negative thoughts. The thing is that of course you're still gonna have these negative thoughts because you're not me. I'm not saying that in an ego way, but I'm saying this because you haven't accomplished that idealized version of yourself, right? That's why evolution is so big to me, and the reason why it's my philosophy, because as soon as I became skinny, the idealized version that I had of myself, it changed, and now I have to be this person. I have to be this YouTuber now, right? And it's ever evolving, right? Not in a point where I'm just chasing material success, or I'm just, chasing endless goals just to give my life an existence. No, because I genuinely want it, because I genuinely want to improve. I genuinely want to be better in my life, just like all of you, right? So the reason why you haven't changed your identity yet to somebody where the negative thoughts will never go away unless you change your identity, right? And I always say this on my channel, but for a lot of people, you need to slay the dragon, right? So obviously, for a fat guy, he obviously has to go through the fitness process and be skinny in order for his confidence to increase, right? And then through momentum, right? Through staying in that identity that you want to be in, through that momentum, you carry it onto your new identity. So now you're always the confident guy, right? But you guys haven't put in enough work, or you guys haven't even gone to the chaos yet. You've never you never taken a big enough risk to change your identity yet. So the confidence, honestly, a lot of the confidence, I can give you all these tips and all that, but a lot of these confidence, it will not be solved until you slay that dragon, right? Now, what is the dragon? It is going to be the thing you've been avoiding for the past 10 years. It's going to be the issues, the money issue. It's going to be your issue. You know the problem that you need to face, the number one priority that you need to face, because you always have it in the back of your mind. That's the thing you got to face. And I tell you, once you slay that motherfucker, that's when your confidence will be at an all-time high, right? Then from there, you just got to carry it on. But again, right, let's say, right, because I even explained this in my philosophy video, which is the first video on my channel. Go click it if you want like a more overview of my philosophy. Let's say you're not strong enough to take enough big risk or to slay that dragon yet. The most you can do right now is just impress yourself, right? So how do you impress about? How do you impress yourself? Okay, sorry guys, I had a fucking alarm. But how do you impress yourself? Was to be on your shit, to stay focused, to do what you say you're gonna do, right? To follow your routine, to do this. The more you build momentum, the more you can actually change your identity. Be like someone. Oh, I actually could go approach her. Oh, I actually could go to the gym. Or I actually could go do this. Or I actually could become a millionaire. Or I actually could become. You have to build your identity, right? You're a motherfucker. You think you can slay a dragon when you're a fucking level 1 warrior. You get what I mean? You have to build it up, guys. A lot of you guys are behind in this aspect, all right? And again, the more you conquer your life, the more that you conquer these negative parts of yourself, that's when the confidence or the social skills will come. Because even let's say you're not a funny guy, at least you'll have the balls to say the joke and live with it, even if the joke lands or not. And then you won't go back home. Oh, I said that negative joke. I hope they don't think this. I hope them. No, you just go to bed, right? And when I talk about having more control or having more power over yourself, this can be with Jesus Christ, obviously having the spiritual control, and having the conviction, and not your own control, but through the Holy Spirit, right? It's Him that works through you to clean you out. So obviously, for a lot of people, go to Jesus if you want to get more. If you have like a lot of vices and a lot of sins that you're dealing with on the daily, which we all do, even me. You go to Jesus for that. But the more spiritual control you have with yourself through following God, is the more your life is slowly gonna change, right? The next point in this video is authenticity. What is authenticity? It's the power to be bold, the power to be you. If you are authentic to who you are, you don't care who you piss off. You don't care who likes or dislikes you. You are yourself. And I tell you right now, a lot of you people have this thing of you being a people pleaser, or you wanted to be liked by a specific somebody. But when you say authentic to yourself, maybe that specific somebody that you're trying to appease goes away, in the sense of now you're not trying to appease her. Or you realize that, oh, in order for me to be my authentic self, I can't try to please you, because I'm just going to let you down, or it's not even going to be worth my time, or no matter what I do, you're not going to be pleased. This is why you have to be authentic. Because when you are authentic, right, there's going to be people who are going to gravitate towards you, because what? They're already kind of like you. They already have your traits, your likes, your dislikes, your opinions, your thoughts, your concerns. And these are going to be the people where you wouldn't have to put this facade of fake confidence where people look like, oh, look at this tryhard. This guy's not confident. You can't fake confidence. So the more true you are to yourself, the more people will be like, the more people that when they gravitate towards you, it's like a filtering out process of, oh, this guy's not for me, this guy's not for me, this guy's not for me, but this guy is, or this girl is, right? And a lot of people are scared to do that because they want to be liked and accepted by everybody, right? And I really do think that a lot of it comes from mother and father issues, but that could be another video. But the more authentic you are to yourself and to live with it, right? Because listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Off of me being authentic, I've gotten a lot of people to like gravitate towards me and be like, "Oh, Carlos, you're so funny. You're this, you're that." But I've also, with me being authentic, I've been alone. Like there's a lot of friends that I do not hang out with. Why? Partially is because me trying to be authentic is me trying to follow the Lord, because I genuinely want to do that, right? So that means I can't go party. That means I can't do this. That means I can't go smoke weed like I did in high school, right? That means I have to live to who I want to be authentic to who I am. And that means, as a result, I've been alone for like months. And obviously, I still have friends, and I'll still be social, and I can still obviously be charismatic and all that, and, in these videos and shit like that. But being authentic, right? If it costs you the world, so be it, right? Because even if you are compromising in order to be happy, you won't be happy, right? You have to be comfortable within yourself. Happiness, no. Happiness comes and goes. It's an emotion. Being comfortable, being okay with stability, being okay with the way things are, it doesn't make you happy, but it makes you peaceful. Another way in order to increase confidence is, this one's kind of general. This one's kind of like all the kind of tips you've already known, because I know you clicked on videos on this, but it's basically just winning in all areas of life. So winning in the financial and with girls and all that. Yeah, it's basically just winning in all areas of life, right? Because I think a lot of the testosterone videos are bullshit. Like I do think that a clean diet and obviously like stuff like that, but when like they're talking about the waters and stuff like that, like the water bottles, the plastic, yeah. But really, I think the number one best way to increase testosterone is just winning. It's just not being competitive, but winning, right? The more you win, the more happier you're gonna be, to be honest. So yeah, this one's kind of like self-explanatory. Just win in all areas of life. For these people who are new to my channel and who haven't heard about my philosophy, evolution, there's only 3 ways to change yourself. Either through trauma, where trauma comes towards you, you don't choose the trauma. Chaos, where you choose to go to the chaos. You choose to traumatize yourself in order to change your identity. Because the whole premise of this is changing identity. Or number 3, momentum, right? Now, momentum is a way how you can slowly build up a routine or slowly build up good habits in order to change your identity, right? Which is a lot of people in the self-improvement, they go this route of, hey, just be disciplined, go to the routine, follow your routine, go to the gym and all that, right? But a lot of people either fall off the wagon, they self-sabotage, or they do stuff like that because they haven't built an identity that is solid with that. So that's why I recommend most people just go and traumatize yourself, go through the chaos element to change yourself quicker, right? Because a lot of people in the momentum aspect, they're impatient and they're just like, I haven't been changing. I've been doing the same old thing, but still haven't changing. Well, the thing is, you haven't traumatized yourself. You haven't gone to the chaos, right? Which for most men, just a little freebie that I'll give you guys. I think the best way to change your identity for right now is to move out of your parents' crib, right? If you really want to be like, man, I want to change. I want to be better. I want to stop living in sin. I think, well, for the living in sin part, it's always going to go to Jesus, go to the Bible. But I think for a lot of people in terms of like self-improvement, I think they should move out their parents' crib. I think that's a freebie that I can give out for a lot of people in order to like actually change themselves and change their identity, right? But going back to this point, momentum, right? Where momentum can be used to, once you break your identity through chaos, right? Or when trauma comes, right? You carry it on through momentum, right? So you do the habits of this new identity that you set for yourself, and you keep at it, right? So now it becomes a conscious where now it's just being you, right? And the reason how this is all interlinked is that trauma usually happens to you, which puts you in a state of chaos where you then go up and down in life, right? If you want a more in-depth overview of my philosophy, just click the first link, not the first link, the first video on my channel. I click it on, I explain it way better, but basically, yeah. And now the last point is, how do you know that you have true confidence, and how do you know you have the right set of confidence, right? Because I don't want you guys to just be egotistic, narcissistic. I don't want you to guys become none of that, right? How do you know you have the right confidence? Go to the Bible. The Bible will teach you how to be a man in Christ. So if you go to the Bible and you look at how a man's supposed to be, you just do some self-reflection. Am I that man? No. Okay, then I'm probably acting out of pride. Okay, where are the areas where pride is affecting me? Okay, am I doing this? Or maybe I'm being this. Oh, maybe I need to be more humble. And through all that, you'll learn how to be a righteous man in Christ, right? Basically, that was the whole video. This has been confidence maxing and all that. And yeah, it's been Los, and I'll catch you in the next one.